Welcome back everyone to Crypto Insider, a weekly update here on the crypto markets, with the main topic being the yearly expirations, which is the most important thing I look at for the rest of the year. On the 31st of December, there's the biggest expiration of the year, which also coincides with a time during Christmas and holidays where there's very low liquidity. Looking at the order books of this week, there's very, very little liquidity, and it's a very relatively messy market with some coins setting all-time high and some coins not doing that much. For me, it looks like a shaky market. So to start off with, we always check the stock market. S&P 500 is ranging a bit around all-time highs, struggles a lot to get above this 4,700. And stock markets is obviously important to see what's the health of the overall market. If stock market comes down, crypto will come down as well. We also see that there is less strength here in the RSI, and so it's quite neutral. It doesn't look really bad, but it also doesn't look very healthy. So we definitely should keep an eye on that. And we could see some people cashing out before the end of the year. And there are definitely some bearish signs, but there's no indication yet for a huge correction. But I feel like investors are much more careful with how they approach the stock market versus how they did that for the last year, let's say, right? All right, so let's go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is kind of forming like a bigger bear pennant. I know a lot of people would say we broke the resistance. Last week I talked about this resistance area where you can see that Bitcoin was, I draw two lines because I like that more. That's an area of resistance rather than just one line of resistance. So we at all-time high here rejection, here we were wicking around before that major crash. And then we had this structure of lower highs. And right now we broke out of this resistance area, but we are still, if I connect these tops here, we are still struggling to really break out. There's no conviction in Bitcoin yet. There's no conviction in Ethereum yet. And to me, this has everything to do with the yearly expirations, and not many people are talking about it. So we have New York opening in 1 or 2 hours, and this will be a big indicator of where this market can go. If New York opens green, if New York opens here and they start pumping vector candle, volume, spiking the high and kind of hitting these same areas of 49,600 is exactly the price point I mentioned in my videos last week, and then come down and breaking the 50 EMA here, then you definitely know there's problems. That's not a healthy sign. I have to say that for Bitcoin, the max pain price is at 48,000, and there is an expiration on the 24th. So they could also decide just to range here at least till the 24th. Another thing that we need to look at is also breaking this weekly spread for the start of the week, which is at 47.5 and 46.5 more or less. If we break this 46,600, this means like we could expect a bigger correction. For now, these breaks of support here were merely fake outs and trying to get traders to go short and using their liquidity to pump up the price. So Bitcoin is ranging. I don't think this is a full market reversal just yet. And I found something really, really, really amazing for Bitcoin on a historical perspective. And I will dive into that just in a little bit. Ethereum, same story. I think Ethereum is actually looking much more bearish than Bitcoin at this point. We can see this really huge sort of wedge structure where we had support on this trend line since March 2020. Here again in July, here again in September, and now here we broke this structure. And again, we're forming some sort of a pennant, symmetrical triangle structure. And the max pain price of Ethereum is still at 2,500. So if we break this support around 3,800, we could definitely see Ethereum testing the weekly 50 EMA, which obviously will be a lot less. I think we need to be very, very cautious of what's going to happen over Christmas. There will be hardly any institutional traders. Everything is closed. There's low liquidity, and it's very cheap and easy for the market maker to bring price much lower. Also, what I've been saying as well is that breaking the market base here, the yellow line on the weekly, with this red line, which is the fast moving RSI, is very, very bearish. Yeah, but let's have a look at the all-time Bitcoin chart. First, I want to just go over Luna. Luna's going very strong. We were trading inside this channel. We broke the channel. I do expect New York to push higher for Luna. I think $100 could be the true resistance area, and I do expect a correction for Luna. And where could we end up? Well, first target would be just to hit the 50 EMA in the 4 hour, which would be 75, which is much lower than where we are right now. I think you have to be very careful with coins going parabolic, if it's Luna or anything else, regardless of the fundamentals. With coins going parabolic right now, because the market is not healthy yet. And why do I say this? Well, let's have a look at the all-time structure of Bitcoin, which is still the main indicator for the crypto market. And what we can see is that we have this all-time resistance line, yeah? So that's this red line, top, 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 and here top as well, right? And so what you can also see is the resistance line is, it starts with a very high slope, and then it curves down. So you can really see that Bitcoin over the years will go up less and less and less and less. Where we can also see that is that the structures here, these are the last bull markets, 2011, 2013, 2017. And what is very interesting is that, people say, well, we went up so much in 2011, so 2013 is going to be the same. Well, it wasn't the same. And 2013 was like this, and 2017 was the same. Or 2017, we went up like this much, so 2021 will be the same. Well, this is not true, right? Because if we would do the same thing as 2017, Bitcoin would top out at $375,000. And a lot of people are calling for a 200,000 Bitcoin. In no way in my, let's say, projection, that's going to happen, right? But what's the very, 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 very interesting thing, which I never actually saw before, is that this is the bull market of 2011. And, okay, peak, you can see they're much more steeper than the ones after that. And you can see that there's minus 80%, more or less, right, compared to the peak of 2013, right? And then if you go from 2013 to 2017, again, more or less minus 80%, a bit more, 80.4, 80.5. And if we take the 2017 top towards the 2021 top for now, this is the 2021 top. Bitcoin is not going to break all-time high anymore this year. We have 1 week left. So also, again, more or less minus 80%, a bit more each time, a little bit more, 80.3, 80.5, and now it's 81.7. Again, also topping out on this resistance line, which it moved. It needs to be a bit more like this, actually. So this very much is in line with historical data. Obviously, you cannot say it's one-on-one always, going to be minus 80%, but history is an indicator in a way of what could happen, not what will happen, right? And you can clearly see that. Funny thing is as well that we are exactly the same in terms of length as 2017, unless you take this as the absolute low, then you could say we have a lengthening cycle and diminishing gains, right? And a lot of people are talking about this as if this is something that, that is like a great discovery. This is just very easy to see. It's no big deal, right? So bigger structure, less big of a blow off top, and less big of a blow off top. And this is again less big of a blow off top. And a lot of people say, well, where's the blow off top? Well, guys, we went from 4,000 to 65, 69, right? So you cannot tell me that there's no parabolic structure in this move, right? And so funny thing is, this corresponds exactly with the peak here. So if you want to talk about a lengthening cycle, here you got it, right? So that's plus half a year, right? And it's in line with the diminishing returns, which is historically speaking around the 80%, yeah, slightly over 80%. Now this is 81.7%. It rhymes, right? It rhymes with history. So what can we make out of this? Well, what can we make out of this is very simple. If we break 44.8 and hold this as resistance, we can definitely see Bitcoin going much lower. And so this is what we need to look out for in the coming weeks and months. And nothing goes in a straight line. So, now we have a few green days and everyone's like, this is a full market reversal and everything like that. Only when Bitcoin, in my opinion, goes above 52.5K and hold that as support, we could start talking about breaking all-time high again. But when we're not breaking 52.5K, which is a good support level, that's this level here, basically, we need to be very cautious. And we can also see that the extension from the bottom of the bear market is exactly this 64K, 611.8. That's a major level. That's the golden pocket, but then on the bullish side. And yeah, it lines up. So in my opinion, it's very, very likely that 69K was the top for Bitcoin. And it's very likely, in my opinion, that we could definitely see some major corrections for the whole market for 2022, especially thinking that the next halving will be in 2024. A bear market could last for, let's say, between a half a year and a year. And, you know, it doesn't have to be crazy bear market, but you have to just think in a markup phase and a markdown phase. And basically, we've been in a markup phase since December 2018, which is 3 years of markup phase. And what a lot of moon boys and all these people that are saying like, Bitcoin's going to go to 200K. Well, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me to have a bull market that lasts for 4 years, you know, or for 5 years, especially if there's a new halving coming, especially if there's new interest coming from the institutional side. So a market maker needs to bag up himself and needs these markdown phases in order to create a new markup phase, right? So, and together with all the indicators that are clearly bearish, with a lower high on the RSI and higher high in price, you know, historically speaking, you can see that Bitcoin has these peaks in RSI, peak in RSI, peak in RSI, peak in RSI, you know, and it corresponds, right? So historically speaking, it corresponds, and 69K could definitely be the top of this bull market, which is not a problem, because we can definitely make a good make good buys for a bear market if it will be coming. And I think this is, this I just found the other day. I think this is one of my favorite findings of this last of the last year, actually. And it rhymes, and it doesn't have to be true, but the signs are looking still bearish. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, and they only want to hear Bitcoin's going to go up forever. I'm telling you, you don't want Bitcoin to go up forever, because most of you didn't buy in a bear market. All those people, those influencers, those traders that make a lot of money, they all bought in the bear market. So this is what you want. You want to buy in a bear market, and you want to be able to do a 20x, 50x, 100x on certain altcoins that will do this crazy gains. But they will only do crazy gains if you have the chance to buy in a bear market. So this is what I want to leave with. This is my, this is my story for this week, guys. And I think we have to be very cautious with the New York Open in a bit, and very cautious for the holiday weeks and everything up till the end of the year. Well, I expect actually for Ethereum to correct further than Bitcoin does. And, you know, as long as, it's very simple, as long as Ethereum and Bitcoin are not healthy and don't show any conviction towards going to the upside, the crypto market is not healthy, because the crypto market is Bitcoin and Ethereum as of for now, right? And sure, there can be some altcoins popping up, which is usually also a bearish sign, because it just means that the market maker is finishing the moves for these type of alts. So I don't give any financial advice, but the best advice I can give you is always take your profits. All right, so that's it for this week. I wish everyone a nice Christmas, and whenever there's news, I will definitely come back and give you an update. Ciao.